Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a deep breath and listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Time is the most precious gift you will ever have. It's not money. It's not status. It's not approval. It's time. And here's the truth. Once a moment passes, you can't buy it back. You can't apologize enough to bring it back. It is gone. So why, my friends, would you waste even 1 second of it on things that do not fill you, serve you, or grow you? Every second you are alive is a second you can. Time is the most precious gift we are ever given. It is more valuable than money, more enduring than fame, and more meaningful than any material possession we could ever hope to hold in our hands. We live in a world that often teaches us to chase after everything else: wealth, titles, recognition, and validation. But what it rarely reminds us of is that the true wealth we possess is measured in moments, in the ticking of the clock, in the rising and setting of the sun, in every breath that we take, whether we notice it or not. And the great paradox of time is that it is both abundant and fleeting. We wake up each morning assuming that we have so much of it left. We make plans for tomorrow, next week, next year, not realizing that the only time that truly belongs to us is this very second, right now. This moment we are living and breathing. Tomorrow is a hope, a beautiful hope, but it is never a guarantee. Every moment we waste in anger, fear, resentment, procrastination, or regret is a moment we can never retrieve. We cannot rewind the clock or go back and relive yesterday with a wiser heart. We have only the opportunity to live more fully today. There are people who spend their whole lives waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to notice them, waiting until they feel more ready, more prepared, more deserving. But the truth is, time waits for no one. It doesn't pause for us to catch up. It doesn't slow down when we are lost. It doesn't rewind when we make mistakes. It moves forward relentlessly and beautifully, whether we are paying attention or not. And so, the most powerful thing we can do with our time is to honor it, to see it as sacred, to see ourselves as sacred stewards of the moments we are given. Think about it. All the love you want to give, all the dreams you want to chase, all the laughter you want to share, all the books you want to write, the trips you want to take, the passions you want to explore, all of these are waiting for you to stop treating time like it is disposable. They are waiting for you to wake up and realize that life isn't happening later, it's happening now. There is no perfect time to start. There is no perfect time to forgive, to heal, to dream, to try again. If you keep waiting until everything feels just right, you will look up one day and wonder where all the years went. You will wonder why you didn't dance when the music was playing. Why you didn't say, "I love you," when your heart was full. Why you didn't take that leap when the door was standing wide open. The people who seem to live the fullest, the ones who shine with a kind of light you can't quite describe, are not people who had more time than you. They are not people who were handed easier paths. They are simply people who decided to value the time they were given. So they understood that even with fear and uncertainty, they had to move, they had to speak, they had to try, they had to live. And so they did. Time is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. How you spend it matters. Who you spend it with matters. What you give your attention to, your energy to, your heart to, it all matters. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. Every time you choose to invest your time in worry, you are choosing not to invest it in possibility. Every time you choose to stay silent when your heart is screaming to be heard, you are choosing to waste a sacred opportunity. And that doesn't mean you have to live every moment in a state of rushing or pressure. No, it means you live every moment awake, grateful, aware. It means you realize that the mundane moments are just as holy as the extraordinary ones, that sitting with someone you love in silence is as meaningful as standing on a stage in front of thousands, that laughing until your sides hurt is as sacred as any victory you will ever win. Because time isn't just about doing big things, it's about being fully alive in every small thing. You are here, you are breathing, you have this moment. And that is enough. Treasure it, use it, honor it, because time is the most precious gift you will ever receive. And what you choose to do with it is the greatest gift you will ever give back to the world. Every second is a chance to move closer to your dream. Every heartbeat, every breath, every blink of an eye holds within it the possibility of transformation. We often think of life-changing moments as grand, sweeping events, standing on a big stage, receiving a golden award, having the world applaud our arrival. But the truth is, the real magic happens quietly, in the small decisions, in the almost invisible steps we take day after day, second after second. It's in the way we choose to begin, the way we choose to continue, even when no one is watching and nothing feels certain. Dreams are not fulfilled in a single leap. They are built brick by brick, moment by moment, through the small choices we make in what seem like the most ordinary seconds of our lives. Every time you choose to believe in yourself instead of giving in to doubt, you are moving closer. Every time you decide to take one more step when it would be easier to sit down and give up, you are moving closer. Every time you quiet the voices that say you're not enough and instead trust the whisper in your soul that says keep going, you are moving closer. We lose so much time waiting for the right conditions, waiting for the fear to leave, waiting for the perfect opportunity, waiting for someone to tell us it's our turn. But the right moment isn't something you find. It's something you create. It's something you claim by showing up, imperfect, unsure, but determined. You cannot afford to waste another second sitting in fear, sitting in self-doubt, sitting in the shadows of your own life. Every second you hesitate is a second you could be building the life you dream about. And the truth is, even the smallest action taken in faith is infinitely more powerful than standing still in fear. You don't need to know the entire path. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take the next step. Dreams are reached not by giant leaps, but by a series of tiny, brave moments. The decision to stay a little longer and practice when you're tired. The decision to say yes to an opportunity, even when your hands are shaking. The decision to try again after you fail. The decision to believe that maybe, just maybe, your dreams are not foolish, but holy. Time is always moving, whether we are using it or not. Life is not waiting. So every second that you let pass in fear or hesitation is a second you are giving away. A second you could have used to climb higher, to become stronger, to move closer to who you are meant to be. Every great story you admire, every person who inspires you, every legacy that lives on long after someone is gone was built 1 second at a time, one choice at a time. And so is yours. You have power in this moment. You have more strength than you realize. Every second that ticks by is not just something you are surviving, it is something you are creating. You are the artist, you are the author. You are the one who decides what happens next. Maybe you can't control everything, Maybe life will throw obstacles your way that you didn't ask for and don't deserve. But even then, especially then, you have a choice. Will you move closer to your dreams, even if the path is hard and the light is dim, or will you stay where you are and let fear steal your future from you? Even the smallest action matters. Even the smallest step counts. Dreams are not reserved for the lucky or the chosen or the few. They are available to anyone who is willing to keep moving second by second, even when it's hard, even when no one sees, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Keep moving, keep building, keep believing, because every second right now is offering you a chance to step closer to the life you imagine, a chance to honor the deepest desires of your heart, a chance to become everything you were created to be. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It does not exist the way you imagine it. There will never be a moment when everything is neatly aligned, when all your fears are silent, when every door stands wide open, inviting you in without hesitation. Life does not hand out moments that are flawless and free of doubt. Life gives you messy moments, complicated moments, moments that are filled with uncertainty and imperfection. And it's what you choose to do inside those moments that defines the course of your life. We grow up believing there is a time when we will feel absolutely ready, a time when the stars will align, when we will feel brave enough, smart enough, good enough to begin. We keep telling ourselves that once we lose a little more fear, once we have a little more money, once we feel a little more sure of the outcome, then we'll start, then we'll speak up, then we'll chase the dream, write the book, start the business, apologize, forgive, love, try again. But days become weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly the life you imagined is still only a whisper in your mind. Vision that never made it to reality because you kept waiting for a time that never arrived. There is no perfect moment to live your dreams. The perfect moment is a myth, a story we tell ourselves to delay facing the risk that comes with courage. And yet, the only real mistake is not moving at all. The only real tragedy is silencing the voice inside you that says, go, try, begin. The risk you fear today will one day feel so much smaller than the regret you will carry if you never begin at all. Stop holding your life hostage, waiting for all conditions to be favorable. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be reasons to hesitate. There will always be fears to wrestle with, voices telling you to wait a little longer, that now is not the time. But you must learn to move anyway. You must learn to begin in the middle of uncertainty. You must dare to start while you are still afraid, still unsure, still shaking in your shoes, because starting creates momentum. Because beginning transforms fear into courage. Every person you admire, every great story you celebrate, every dream that was ever realized began not in perfection, but in motion. They began in doubt, in fear, in vulnerability. They began because someone chose to trust their purpose more than their fear. They began because someone understood that action is the antidote to fear, that progress is built on imperfection, not on flawless planning. You cannot edit a blank page. You cannot climb a mountain by staring at it. You cannot live a life worth remembering by standing still at the starting line, wondering if the weather will ever be just right. You have to move. You have to start. You have to trust that in starting, you will find the strength you didn't know you had. You will learn what you didn't know you needed to learn. You will grow in ways you never could have predicted. Life rewards the brave. It rewards those who are willing to begin even when they don't have all the answers. It rewards those who choose to bet on themselves even when the outcome is unclear. And most importantly, it rewards those who understand that this moment this messy, uncertain, perfectly imperfect moment is good enough. It is enough for you to take a step. It is enough for you to begin the journey. It is enough for you to write the first word, to speak the first sentence, to take the first breath of a new chapter. You do not need to be perfect to start living your dreams. You only need to be willing to try, willing to fail, willing to grow, willing to believe that you are worthy of the life you want. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop telling yourself that someday will come, because the truth is, someday is already here. It is right in front of you, disguised as today. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next year. Right, begin. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher, because who you walk with will shape who you become. The people you allow into your life are not just companions on the journey, they are architects helping you build the foundation of your future. Every conversation you share, every piece of advice you take, every energy exchange you experience, it leaves an imprint. It either strengthens your spirit or slowly drains it. It either pushes you closer to your purpose or subtly pulls you away from it. You may not even realize it at first. It happens quietly, like water wearing away a stone. But over time, it matters more than you can imagine. When you are surrounded by people who believe in you, even when you struggle to believe in yourself, you rise. When you have voices around you that speak life into your dreams, that encourage you to keep going when everything in you wants to quit, you find a new kind of strength you didn't know you had. You don't need an army, but you do need a few hearts that genuinely want to see you win. People who don't just tolerate your growth, but celebrate it, who see your potential even when you're still finding your footing. And you must be careful, because not everyone who smiles at you is rooting for you. There are those who, out of their own insecurity, will want you to stay small, stay silent, stay stuck, not because they hate you, but because your courage reminds them of the risks they are afraid to take. Your ambition shines a light on their own forgotten dreams. And so they discourage, they diminish, they doubt. Not always openly, sometimes in small, subtle ways, a raised eyebrow, a backhanded compliment, a gentle warning that sounds like concern but feels like fear. Learn to recognize the difference between caution that protects and fear that imprisons. Your circle matters. Protect your energy fiercely. Surround yourself with dreamers, with doers, with people who talk about ideas, possibilities, growth, and love. Stay close to those who challenge you to be better without making you feel lesser. Stay close to those who inspire you to think bigger, live fuller, love deeper. Choose friends who make you want to stand taller just by being around them, not out of competition, but out of admiration. Choose mentors who see the light in you and refuse to let you dim it. And remember, it's not just about what they give you. It's about what you give. Be someone who lifts others higher, too. Be someone who claps loudly for their wins, who reminds them of their strength when they forget, who shows up not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Build a community where rising is not lonely, but collective, where success is not envied, but shared, where love is not measured, but multiplied. It takes courage to outgrow certain relationships. It takes strength to walk away from the familiar when it no longer fuels your soul. It'd be painful to realize that not everyone can go where you are meant to go. But your dreams, your peace, your purpose, they are worth protecting. You owe it to yourself to be in spaces that nurture your fire, not extinguish it. There is a beautiful, undeniable power that comes from surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher. You start to believe again. You start to dream bigger. You start to see yourself not just as you are, but as you could be. And when you do, something extraordinary happens. You begin to lift others too. Is rising together is so much better than rising alone. So choose wisely. Love deeply and walk forward bravely, knowing that you deserve to be surrounded by those who see the greatness in you and refuse to let you settle for anything less. Own your choices, because your life is built from them. Every road you have ever walked, every victory you have celebrated, every mistake you have endured, every joy you have tasted, all of it traces back to the choices you made. Some choices were bold and deliberate, some were quiet and unconscious, some were made in moments of courage, others in moments of fear, but each one shaped you into the person you are today. Each choice carries power, and when you step fully into that truth, when you stop blaming, stop making excuses, and start owning your decisions, you reclaim the power to shape your future. It is easy to look around and blame circumstances, blame the people who hurt us, blame the opportunities we didn't get, the luck we didn't have. It is tempting to believe that life is something that simply happens to us, that we are at the mercy of forces outside our control. But real freedom, real growth begins the moment you take full responsibility for your choices, the good, the bad, and the difficult. You are not powerless. You have never been powerless. Even when life was hard, even when the options were few, you still had the choice of how you responded, how you rose, how you moved forward. Owning your choices doesn't mean you live a life without mistakes. It means you stop running from them. It means you stand tall and say, yes, I chose this. And if it was wrong, I will learn. And if it was right, I will grow. Either way, I will not hide from it. There is an incredible strength that comes from looking your choices in the eye and claiming them as your own. No more pretending that life pushed you into a corner. No more giving away your power by acting like you are a victim of your own story. You are not. You are the author. You hold the pen. Every day offers you the chance to make a new choice. You are never stuck. No matter how long you have been standing still, you can always choose again. Choose differently. Choose bravely. The future is not determined by the choices you made yesterday unless you refuse to make better choices today. Growth is not about perfection. It is about ownership. It is about waking up each morning and deciding who you want to be and then making the choices that align with that vision, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when the world doesn't understand. And you have to own the easy choices and the hard ones alike. It's easy to own the choices that lead to success. It's harder to own the ones that led to heartbreak, to failure, to regret. But those choices matter too. They are your teachers. They are the stones in the road that sharpen your steps and strengthen your spirit. If you disown them, you lose the wisdom they carry. But if you embrace them, if you honor them as part of your journey, they will make you wiser, braver, more compassionate. Owning your choices also means understanding that you can choose your mindset. You can choose to see challenges as opportunities. You can choose to believe in yourself even when no one else does. You can choose to keep moving forward even when everything inside you says to quit. Life is not what happens to you. Life is what you choose to do with what happens to you. There is no greater freedom than living a life you chose, not a life someone else pushed on you. Not a life built from fear or from other people's expectations. A life that is authentically yours, stitched together from moments of conscious, courageous choosing. So own your past, own your present, and own your future. Own the messy beginnings and the triumphant breakthroughs. Own the lessons and the victories. Own the quiet days and the wild ones. Own every choice, and through them, own the beautiful, unstoppable story that is your life. Live intentionally with purpose, because life is far too precious to live it by accident. Every morning you open your eyes is another invitation to live on purpose, to choose who you will be, how you will show up, and what legacy you will leave behind. Too many people drift through life without ever stopping to ask themselves why they are doing what they are doing, why they are following the crowd, why they are silencing their dreams just to fit into a world that often doesn't even see them. But you were not made to drift. You were made to live wide awake with your heart on fire for something greater than just existing.